so my name is Síle Walsh. I'm an artist living in Tramore with my family, and I have a studio space in my parents' house, also in Tramore. I work mainly on subjects or the environment and people around the ocean, and I've been working as an artist professionally for 4 years. My journey back to art was really over a very prolonged period. I didn't study, but I have always drawn since I can remember. I've had long periods of maybe not painting or drawing when I went to college to be a veterinary nurse, when my children were very small. And when my sons were 3 and 5, I felt the need to go back to work, but I wanted to work from home. So I decided to try and make it as a career. My first year in the studio was really with the main objective of building a body of work, because in order to represent yourself, you have to be able to say to the gallery, or, you know, within submitting for work, you have to show them what your practice is. And I literally had nothing. I set up a group exhibition with friends in the Coast Guard station in Tramore, which was really good. It was a big success, but it meant it didn't put a massive pressure on me to produce a solo body of work. So that was really my first year. I was very lucky to get a place on Sky Art's portrait. Literally the month that I started painting, it was the first painting I had done. I didn't paint portraits, so it was really a big eye opener and very scary, and I definitely wasn't ready for it, but I had a blast. So that gave me a really big push very quickly into I suppose even meeting other artists and opening up kind of people being willing to look at my work. So I've been showing mainly in group shows. I had one solo show in Goma Gallery a few years ago, which was really nice. It was a bit scary. And last year I was in the RUA, Royal Academy in Belfast, and my painting of my friend Grace, who's a professional surfer, sold to the Northern Irish Finance Department. So that was a really big boost for me, something I wasn't expecting. I suppose my next big upcoming work is for an exhibition in Barcelona. I'm really excited about it because I'm a poor artist. I'm going to have to do small works and works on paper in order to get it over there. As much as I love to work big, and ideally I would love to be doing massive works, I also have to think, you know, practically. So what will sell, what will travel easily? So I'm going back to paper and I'm going back to drawing, which I suppose is really the area that I would say I would be most skilled at. Painting is very new for me. Paper and pencil is going to be exciting. It's going to be nice to get back to it. So my interests and my influences are really based around my own hobbies, which are surfing and swimming, which I've been doing for a very long time. And also my husband is a surfer, my kids swim, and then a lot of my close friends and family are would surf and swim as well. I base pretty much all my work on kind of expressing my own, capturing moments of my own life and the community that gravitates towards the ocean. My first body of work was called Sea Swimmer Paintings, and it was based on the group of women that I swim with. So we swim distance in Tramore, and we're kind of a big gang of girls, and we all get in together and we support each other, and we swim quite long distances. And my first painting was inspired by one of my friends coming out of the water, and I think I wanted to capture the community that gravitates towards the sea, not the actual physical action. So pretty much it's followed on since there, and I've travelled and photographed other sea swimming groups around Ireland, and I've tried to capture their community and some surfers as well. There's just something about their bond. It's really about the friendship and the bond. It's not about the actual physical action of the surfing or swimming. I think those images are just beautiful in photography, and I'm not trying to represent what I can already see. It's more about an emotion or a moment. It's also something that I want anybody who has a group of friends that have a common or shared interest to say that could be me or that could be us. So I've travelled to Greystones. This painting actually was of a lady that I met very briefly when I went up to visit a group of sea swimmers up there, and I made some great friendships, and I'm still working on the images that I took from that morning. I just worked very much off my intuition. If an image grabbed me or a thought grabbed me, I'd work from that. And none of my paintings are taken directly from an image. So I will bring in my own influences, I'll take out elements, and I tend to exaggerate work as well. I tend to work in a series of paintings, and my first one was very much influenced by the group of women that I swim with. So it was called Sea Swimmer Series. Then I moved into the Rituals series, which was about the rituals people perform around the ocean. And then I'm currently working on Strong Women in the Sea. and I've got some really interesting subjects for that. But with COVID, I was a little bit limited on going to visit them, so hopefully that will take off this year. I have a huge amount of artists that I admire, both contemporary and kind of old generation artists. I would tend to veer to more a very minimalist style of painting, and oddly, I'm actually quite linear in my work, but the artists that I gravitate towards would be quite loose and abstract. But the ones that would stand out for me are some of the classics like David Hockney, Lucian Freud. They would be obviously up there, as with many other artists. I have a couple of artists, contemporary artists, that I really just think are incredible. Ruprecht von Kaufmann, I hope I said that properly, is incredible. Nicolas Uribe, and there was somebody came up the other day. She is a Chinese artist living in America. Ding Sheng, I think her name is, and she's incredible. I didn't go back and study painting, but what I have been doing in the last few years is doing kind of short courses. I got a bursary from ArtLinks for Artform Art School, so I have been very lucky to get that bursary and to be able to do short courses, which have helped me kind of, I suppose, expand my practice and my skill level. A course with Eamon Coleman, who is a very well established artist in Ireland, and it was all about using colour in the landscape. My second course was with Mars Quinlan, again another fabulous artist, and it was all about layering and contemporary art. So I wasn't being necessarily taught painting techniques or skills, it was more about expanding my vision on the art world and how to bring it into my practice. And I have another one in October in printmaking with Daniel Lipstein, which I really want to bring into my work.